And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Williams. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Throwing is Williams. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Second down and a little more than a yard here. They'll go play action here with Williams. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And a promising start as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Plays like that will really help this offense settle in here on the road.
And when you go on the road, you also have to deal with the fans as well. And when you have those types of runs, that'll settle them back into their seats.
Going quickly out wide to Moore. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 2. On play action, here's Williams. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Able to slither by. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll just get rid of it.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll look to throw for it with Williams. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Santos' kick is up and through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Short throw, it's Higbee. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
This now a 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. This is taken at about the 14. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Play action. Now Williams. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Looking to throw is Williams. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the 1st down.
Here's Williams. A pass complete to Adunze. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Second and 7. To the air, Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. To throw, Williams. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
From his own goal line, Stafford. That's caught. Puka Nacua. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here. And they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now Stafford. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Ethan Evans on now to punt. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That's taken it around the 40. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. The Chicago offense set to get started. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Clock running, under a minute to go now here in a fast-moving first quarter. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
To throw, it's Williams. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throw out wide is incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a third down coming up. Now it's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Off the play fake, it's Williams. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. The Bears on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. From the gun, here's Williams. Touchdown, Bears! Olamide Zaccheaus, a 7-yard touchdown grab, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. L.A. readies for its next possession. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Stafford. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch of the game for Adams, so he's got a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now they'll send Adams in motion left. They'll fake the jet sweep, and instead of give up the middle to Williams. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was, because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here is 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Williams. This will be caught downfield by Moore. Touchdown, Chicago! DJ Moore, 56 yards. And the Bears are able to extend their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Santos now to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Dayo Odangbo. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Stafford. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Let's take it inside his own 40. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense and DJ Moore headed back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Looking to throw. Williams. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Williams. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it. But it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Rams 1st down on a pickup of 10. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Pass complete there to Nakua. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It's Gervon Dexter who got in to drop him.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it with Williams. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. How to approach this. Third down and 16 yards to go. Here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So on fourth down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Now that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Williams operating from the gun. Open man is Duvernay. 7 yards there and a first down. Looking to throw is Williams. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Now 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Williams. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half. And he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield. So he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw. Williams. Escaping the press. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them. Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. A final shot before the break. Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang at Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The football going back to the Rams now. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run it again with Williams. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. Screen play set up for Williams. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Play action. Stafford. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
To throw is Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. So the completion good for just 3. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
That was simply snap, rock, and fire. I mean, they didn't take long at all. Slant route, and I loved where he put it. He put on the body of the receiver low so that only he can catch it.
Yeah, I don't think there was any magical formula there. Defensively, that's just tough to defend.
Very much so. And that way it allows the receiver to keep his body in front of the defender and not allow him to go through him to knock the ball away.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. To the air again, Stafford. And he wisely will throw that one away.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Stafford looks to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
Byron Young there on the stop.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, it's Williams. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. Call it a gain of a yard, and now we've got a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Komet. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 33. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Williams. And again back to Komet. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. This is caught. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears had 6 to their lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the Rams now coming out on the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Stafford now to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. Tutu Atwell. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. Back to throw, Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Here's Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now 2nd and 9. To the air, Williams. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Bears on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Hands it off out of the gun. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pass complete there to Nakua. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Here's Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Throwing is Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters, and this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Again, it's Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
But when we see the ball tipped in the air, sometimes we get a little roll change, don't we? Because when it's in the air, sometimes the defensive back becomes the receiver. And in this case, the receiver looked like a defensive back, but ended up a receiver.
He caught it as a receiver. Hey, it worked out.
Worked out really well for them. But I'm telling you, the defensive guys,
frustrated.
Oh, frustrated. They're going to catch it in film.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Short throw, it's Higbee, but they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this will be a Bears first down as he gets this up past the 30.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now it's Stafford. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing again is Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. 2nd down and 3. Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. 7 yards there and a first down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that, incomplete. Daylight in front if he could have held on, but he didn't. So instead, it's second down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Stafford looks to throw again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the gun, here's Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. To the air again, Stafford. Finding Williams on the check down. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Stafford now to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
This likely a must-have, third and goal. Stafford. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another fourth down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.